My name is Zara. I'm 16 years old. And the night my family tried to sell me started with my aunt walking through the door with a strange man and a briefcase full of cash. "This is Mr. Rasheed," my mother said, smiling in a way that made my stomach twist. "He's here to discuss your future." I was sitting at the kitchen table, laptop open, 3 coding projects spread across multiple tabs. I'd been up for 36 hours straight working on an app prototype for a competition. The regional tech showcase was in 2 days, and I was so close to finishing. "Future?" I echoed, not looking up from my screen. My father cleared his throat. "Close the computer, Zara. This is important." Something in his tone made me obey. I closed the laptop slowly and looked up at the stranger in our living room. He was maybe 50, wearing an expensive suit, gold rings on 3 fingers. His eyes swept over me like I was livestock. "She's perfect," he said to my parents, not to me. "Educated, young, healthy. My son will be very pleased." The words hit me like ice water. "What is this?" "An opportunity," my mother said quickly. "Mr. Rasheed's son is a successful businessman. He's looking for a wife who can manage his household and give him children. The dowry he's offering is very generous." My aunt nodded enthusiastically. "This will secure our family's future. Your younger brothers can go to good schools. Your father can pay off his debts." I stared at them, my brain struggling to process. "You're trying to arrange a marriage for me?" "I'm 16. You'll be 17 soon," my father said. "And in our culture." "I don't care about culture," I interrupted, my voice rising. "I'm not getting married. I have the tech showcase in 2 days. I'm competing for a scholarship to MIT's summer coding program." "I'm not." "MIT?" My father laughed bitterly. "You think some American university cares about a girl from our neighborhood? You think they'll give you money to play with computers? It's not playing. Enough." His voice cut through mine like a blade. "Mr. Rasheed is offering $50,000. That's more money than you'll ever see in your lifetime. You should be grateful." The man in the suit smiled. "The wedding will be in 3 months. That gives you time to prepare. My son is very traditional. You'll need to learn to cook his favorite meals, understand proper behavior for a wife." "I'm not marrying your son," I said, my hands clenching into fists under the table. "I'm not marrying anyone." The room went silent. My mother's face hardened. "Zara, don't be stupid. This is a good match. Do you know how many girls would kill for this opportunity? Then pick one of them." My father stood up, his chair scraping against the floor. "You don't have a choice. We've already accepted the dowry advance. $10,000. The money's spent. You're getting married whether you like it or not." Something cold and sharp crystallized in my chest. I looked at my parents, really looked at them, and saw the truth. I wasn't their daughter. I was a commodity. A bargaining chip to fix their financial problems. "I need to use the bathroom," I said quietly. My mother waved me away dismissively, already turning back to Mr. Rasheed to discuss wedding details. I walked upstairs, grabbed my laptop and backpack, and climbed out my bedroom window onto the fire escape. I was down the alley and 3 blocks away before anyone noticed I was gone. Before I tell you what happened next, I want to know, where are you watching from? Have you ever felt like your family saw you as something to use instead of someone to love? Comment below. I read every word, ***. I'm Zara, 16 years old, running through dark streets with a laptop and $200 in my pocket. And the only thing keeping me moving forward is the absolute certainty that I will never let anyone own me. The first night, I slept in a 24-hour internet cafe, my head on the table, my laptop clutched to my chest like a shield. When morning came, I had 17 missed calls and 12 voicemails from my parents. I deleted them all without listening. Then I opened my email and saw something that made my hands shake. "Congratulations. Your app as SafeRoute has been selected as a finalist for the Regional Tech Innovation Showcase. Please confirm your attendance, ***. I'd made it. After months of coding, after teaching myself 3 programming languages from YouTube tutorials, after debugging until my eyes burned, I'd actually made it to the finals. The prize was a full scholarship to MIT's Summer Intensive program, plus $10,000 in seed funding and mentorship from actual Silicon Valley developers. This was my way out. My only way out. I confirmed my attendance, then texted my best friend Maya, "Can I crash at your place? Emergency." She responded in 30 seconds, "Doors unlocked. Spare key under the mat. Are you okay?" I wasn't okay. But I was free. And sometimes that's the same thing. Maya's parents were divorced, and her mom worked night shifts as a nurse. The apartment was small but safe, and for 3 days I lived in her spare room, coding nonstop, perfecting my presentation, practicing my pitch until I could recite it in my sleep. SafeRoute was an app designed for women in dangerous neighborhoods. It used real-time data, crime statistics, and crowdsourced reports to calculate the safest walking routes. Users could also trigger silent alarms that notified emergency contacts if they felt threatened. I'd built it after my cousin was attacked walking home from work. I'd built it because I was tired of being afraid. The day of the showcase, I put on the only professional clothes I owned, black pants and a white button-up shirt I'd bought from a thrift store. I braided my hair tightly and rehearsed my pitch one more time in Maya's bathroom mirror. "You've got this," she said, squeezing my shoulder. "You're a genius, Zara." They'd be idiots not to see it. The showcase was held at the city's convention center. When I walked in, I felt like I'd entered a different universe. Booths everywhere, displays with flashing screens, teenagers in expensive tech company hoodies. Everyone looked confident, polished, like they belonged. I set up my booth in the corner, my hands shaking as I attached the poster I'd printed at the library. My display looked pathetic compared to the others, but my code was solid. I knew it was. Judges started making their rounds. They'd stop at each booth, listen to pitches, ask questions, take notes. My stomach twisted every time they got closer. Then I saw them. My parents. My aunt. And Mr. Rasheed, standing at the entrance, scanning the room. They'd found me. My father spotted me first. His face darkened, and he started pushing through the crowd. My mother followed, her expression a mix of fury and desperation. I had maybe 30 seconds before they reached me. A judge stopped at my booth, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a Google lanyard. "Tell me about your project," she said. I took a breath. My parents were 15 feet away. SafeRoute is a navigation app designed to keep women safe, I said, my voice stronger than I felt. It analyzes real-time crime data, traffic patterns, and crowdsourced safety reports to calculate the safest walking routes in urban environments. 10 feet away. The judge leaned in, interested. "How does it handle data privacy?" "All location data is encrypted and anonymized. Users can opt into sharing their routes to help improve the algorithm, but it's completely voluntary. The app never stores identifiable information." 5 feet. "Impressive," the judge said, making notes. "And you built this yourself?" "Every line of code." My father reached the booth. "Zara, you're coming home. Now." The judge looked up, startled. "I'm sorry, who are you?" "Her father." "And she's leaving." "I'm in the middle of a presentation," I said, my voice ice cold. "I don't care. You've embarrassed us enough. Mr. Rasheed is threatening to withdraw his offer because you ran away like a child." The judge's expression changed, hardening. "Sir, you need to step back. This is a judged competition. This is my daughter. And she's a minor participating in an academic event," the judge interrupted. "If you don't leave, I'll call security." My father's face went red. My mother grabbed his arm, whispering urgently. For a moment, I thought he might actually explode. Then he stepped back, jabbing a finger at me. "This isn't over," he hissed. "You're coming home tonight, or you'll regret it." They left, but I could feel their eyes on me from across the room. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. The judge watched them go, then turned back to me. "Are you safe?" I almost laughed. Safe? I hadn't felt safe in years. "I'm okay," I lied. She didn't look convinced, but she handed me her card. "If you need help, call me." "And Zara? Your app is brilliant. One of the best I've seen today." I didn't win first place. But I won second, which came with a partial scholarship to the summer program and $5,000 in seed funding. When they announced my name, I walked on stage with my head high, ignoring my parents glaring from the back of the room. The applause felt like validation, like proof that I wasn't crazy for running away. After the ceremony, 3 different developers approached me with business cards. One worked at a startup focused on women's safety tech. She wanted to talk about potentially acquiring SafeRoute. "How old are you?" she asked. 17 in 2 weeks. She whistled. "You're a prodigy. Keep in touch. Once you're 18, we should talk seriously." I left the convention center with my prize check, 5 business cards, and a scholarship letter. I also left with my parents following me. They cornered me in the parking garage. "Give me that check," my father demanded. "That money belongs to the family." "No, it doesn't. I earned it." "You earned it with the education we gave you, the food we put in your mouth." "You were going to sell me," I said, my voice echoing off the concrete walls. "You took money from a stranger to marry me off like property. You don't get to pretend you care about my education." My mother stepped forward, her expression softening into something almost sad. "Zara, please. Come home. We can forget all this happened. You can keep your prize money. We just want you back." For a second, I almost believed her. Almost. Then I saw Mr. Rasheed waiting by their car, arms crossed, watching. "If I come back, will you cancel the engagement?" I asked. Silence. That's what I thought. I turned and walked away. My father shouted after me, threatening to call the police, to report me as a runaway, to make sure I never saw my brothers again. I kept walking. Here's my question for you: when your family's love comes with conditions that destroy who you are, is it really love? Or is it just control wearing a mask? Drop your thoughts below, ***. The next 6 months were a brutal education in survival. I couch surfed, burned through favors, worked 3 part-time jobs while finishing high school online. The scholarship to MIT's summer program was my lifeline, but I needed to stay alive long enough to use it. My parents tried everything to get me back. They filed missing person reports until the police confirmed I was safe and refused to intervene. They showed up at Maya's apartment until her mom threatened to get a restraining order. They contacted my school, claiming I was mentally unstable and needed to come home. But they couldn't touch me. I was too careful, too determined. The tech developer who'd been interested in SafeRoute stayed in contact. Her name was Linda, and she became something like a mentor. She connected me with a lawyer who helped me get legally emancipated 3 days after I turned 17. "Your parents can't force you into anything now," the lawyer explained. "You're legally an adult. You can make your own decisions." That night, I cried for the first time since running away. Not from sadness, but from relief so overwhelming it felt like drowning in reverse. MIT's summer program changed everything. I was surrounded by kids like me, brilliant, obsessive, willing to code for 20 hours straight, fueled by nothing but caffeine and spite. For the first time in my life, I wasn't weird. I was normal. SafeRoute won the program's innovation competition. Linda's company made an official offer to acquire it for $150,000, with the condition that I stay on as a consultant and eventually join as a junior developer once I graduated. At 17, I had more money than my parents had ever seen. The first thing I did was rent my own apartment. Tiny, barely furnished, but mine. No one could kick me out. No one could sell me. No one owned me. The second thing I did was send an anonymous donation to a women's shelter, the same one that had given me resources when I first ran away. The third thing I did was block my parents' numbers permanently. 2 years later, I'm 19. SafeRoute has 500,000 users across 30 cities. I dropped out of community college to work at Linda's company full-time as a lead developer. Tech blogs call me a rising star and a self-made success story. They don't know the full story. They don't know about sleeping in internet cafes or skipping meals to save money for server costs. They don't know about the panic attacks or the nightmares about being dragged back home. But they don't need to know. That's not the story I'm selling. Last month, my phone buzzed with a Facebook message from my youngest brother, Amir. He was 14 now, almost the age I was when everything fell apart. Zara, it's me. Dad lost his job. Mom's sick. Can you help us? I stared at that message for 3 days before responding. How's sick? Cancer. Stage 3. Treatment is expensive. We're going to lose the house. My first instinct was satisfaction. Karma had finally caught up with them. Let them lose everything like they tried to make me lose myself. But then Amir sent a photo. My mother, gaunt and pale in a hospital bed. My father sitting beside her, looking decades older than I remembered. They looked broken. Defeated. Human. I closed the message and didn't respond. A week later, Amir called me. I almost didn't answer. Please, Zara, he said, his voice cracking. I know what they did to you. I know it was wrong. But she's dying. And I don't know what to do. Where's Mr. Rasheed's money? I asked coldly. The dowry they took? Gone. Dad's business failed. They spent everything trying to keep it afloat. Of course they did. I have 2 younger brothers who need to eat, Amir continued. I'm trying to work, but I'm 14. No one will hire me for more than minimum wage. We're going to end up on the street. You could have ended up on the street 3 years ago, I said. When they kicked me out. I know. And I'm sorry. I should have done something. I was too scared. His voice broke on the last word, and something in me cracked too. I didn't go home. But I did wire money for my mother's treatment. Anonymously, through my lawyer, with explicit instructions that my parents were never to contact me or attempt to find me. I paid for Amir's school fees. I set up a trust fund for my younger brother's education, accessible only when they turned 18. But I didn't forgive. I didn't forget. And I didn't go back. 6 months later, my mother recovered. Amir sent me updates occasionally, always grateful, never pressuring. My father tried to call once, but I blocked the number immediately. One message from Amir stood out. Dad asked me to tell you he's sorry. He said he realizes now what he did was unforgivable. He doesn't expect you to forgive him. He just wanted you to know. I read that message 100 times, trying to figure out how I felt. The truth? I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, not vindication. Just emptiness where they used to be. They were strangers now. People I helped from a distance because they shared DNA with me, but not family. Not anymore. Last week, I spoke on a panel at a tech conference. Coding Your Way to Freedom, How One App Changed My Life. Hundreds of young women in the audience, many from traditional families, many fighting the same battles I had fought. During the Q&A, someone asked, "Do you ever regret cutting off your family?" I thought about it honestly before answering. No, I said. Because the family I have now, the one I built myself from friends and mentors and people who believed in me, that's real. Blood doesn't make you family. Love does. And love doesn't come with price tags or conditions or dowries. The applause was deafening. So here's my final question for you. If you had to choose between the family you were born into and the person you were meant to become, which would you pick? And if you picked yourself, would you ever look back, ***? Because I picked myself. And I've never looked back, ***. Not even once. Comment below, what did you have to walk away from to become who you are now? I want to hear your story, ***.